Good morning, everybody. Atma Namaste. I hope you all had a great Vesak. All those who joined, it was amazing, right? So even for today's session, though it's a question answer session, but still, we'll just start with a small invocation, and then we'll just see what comes up, and I'll try my best to answer all your queries to the best of my capacity. Okay. To the Universal Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my beloved spiritual teacher, Grandmaster Chokaksui, to Lord Bodhisattva Mailing, to all the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, holy angels, spiritual helpers, to my guardian angels, the angel sign, the Triangles Blessing team, the angel sign to the pendulums, the pendulum dowsing, the beings connected with today's question and answer session, the beings of light, love, power, the beings of wisdom, truth, receptivity, conductivity, the beings of technology. We're very grateful for your presence. We are very, very, very grateful for your contribution at all levels. We're very grateful. With deep gratitude, with deep, deep respect, and lots of love, we thank you all in full faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I welcome you all for today's Pendulum Dowsing question and answer session. I want to know how many of you are aware of what is a pendulum and what is a pendulum dowsing. Are you aware? Just an idea? You can write in the chat if you would want to. Hearing for the first time? Okay, so I'm seeing a mix. Like there are people who know and there are people little, no idea. Okay, I'll just show one which I use. This is a, wait, let me change my background so that you all can see. So if you see, I use one. It's this one is not original or real crystal. Like if you will scan, there's a lot of mix of plastic in it. So but it works amazingly. And so pendulum is actually not just this something hanging on a thread. It can be crystal, it can be stone, it can be any jewelry. Pendulum can also be your own body. If you search or if you try to know about the pendulum, in ancient days when there was no technical devices to know where the water is, where the where the metals can be inside the earth. So what happened is, like, people who are more, you can say, in tune with their own nature or divine, they just came up with this technique altogether without understanding what it is. And I think the first time it was used like a twig, like two sticks of trees. You are putting them together, and then suddenly, wherever there's water, it starts rotating in a certain manner. And that time, initially, some of the people, they used to think that this is satanic. No, it's like the work of evil. It is work of evil or something where the demons and the spirits are contacted. But that's not true. And there are so many variety. Yes, crystals. See, this one is not even proper crystal. It's mixture of plastic. It still works. So the start was there, and people use different things. I came to know that there are people who use the coconut, the shell of the coconut also to check. So it's so interesting that you can be very creative and do dowsing to, with anything and everything based on how constructive or how creative and in tuned you are. So from a layman perspective, it is something which just hangs on the thread, and then the people just use it to, sometimes people use it for divination. Divination is like telling future, just like we have card reading and stuff. But it's not always very accurate when you use pendulum for for predictions, because a lot of other factors comes into place. And a lot of people, they use it for finding the lost items. A lot of people use it for making decisions, understanding, getting insights. I am the one who fall in that category. I really like using pendulum to get certain insights, to understand. And I have been using it in a very creative manner, and I feel that there is so much you can do and there is no end to it. Like, even if you join the 5 days workshop, I'll be sharing a lot of things, different things on all different days. But still, it is not it. You can always be creative enough and try different ways, and then you can see how in many different forms you can use it. So what I have noticed after being connected with the field of energy healing, understanding energy, working with energy, I notice it is nothing but an extension of our own consciousness. So it is not per se the crystal that answers. It is your own higher self, your own conscious connection with everything that exists that answers. So what I have noticed personally over the period of time when I started working with pendulum, I came to a point where at times I don't need to use it. If I am very much aligned, if somebody's asking me something, I would just say that's it. And the funny thing is, especially when people are very close to you, like your parents, your friends, very close friends, if they're asking something, then they'll say, no, 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 Kim, you just take out your pendulum. I said, I'm telling you. They're saying, no, 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 just, it gives us more, more satisfaction. That's correct. And then till now, it has always happened the same, that if I felt that's the answer came the same. Now the question is, okay, question is, can we use pencil also? Yes, you can. I use one day, I think in one session, I used the earphones. But the thing is, if you have a better something more natural, something which is it makes a difference, because the conductivity is different. Are answers manipulated? Yes, they are. Just like if you do card reading, right? Just like you do scanning, all those healers who know how to scan, same way the pendulum can be manipulated. So what we do, what we will be doing is the other way, where we'll try to have more grounding in ourselves, more connection with our own self, more purity, and then we'll try and connect with the pendulum. It will be, once you'll do it, you will feel as if it is an extension of your own intuition. And the more you work with pendulum, the intuition gets heightened. So it's like before you use the pendulum, you already know maybe this is how it is. And I'm forgetting the technical term, but there are people who use muscle testing to know it. So if they have a question, they'll just stand, and then their body, the muscle will tell the answer. I have not personally tried it, but I know it. There are people who do, and it works. It is same way is like, instead of pendulum, you're using your own body for the answers. I find this to be easier, and I connect more with it. Wristwatch connected to string. That depends. If you have a wristwatch with the side, it may not move so freely. So it's better if you have something like a string, and if you have something little heavy in the something little heavy to hang at the end. It works better. So all those who were asking me that which pendulum I should buy, like you should buy for if you want to start with, I would say just check online. If Amazon is there, it's the best because it has so many options. If in your country, like in mine, Amazon doesn't work, so whichever online platform you have, for online shopping, you write and type pendulum, and you will find a lot. They are freely and very easily available all across the world. And then the key is, get the first one which you get most attracted to. Because if you are getting attracted to, that means there is already a connection with that kind of a quality. It doesn't matter if it is crystal, if it is stone, if it is a metal, it really doesn't matter. The first pendulum, the best way to work with the pendulum, to start working with pendulum, is to start with the one which you feels really, really connected. My father used this watch to find water source. It moves more near water source. That's awesome, right? That's what I said. You can be creative and use anything and everything. For 5 days workshop, we'll use something very easy. And all those who think that, no, I don't know how to get a pendulum, it's okay. We will make pendulum in the class from all the resources, like whatever resources you have in your home. We can just work it out, and then we'll just make a pendulum at home with the resources, and it still works. And then whenever you can get it, you can use it. We can use for yes or no questions. Yes, we can use pendulum for yes or no questions. We can also use the pendulum to know if I have to go out and, for example, if I have to go to my workplace, and there are 2-3 ways how I can go it. I can check where there will be traffic, which way will be faster. I can, if I find I misplaced something, I can use the pendulum to find first if it is still there in my home, if it is lost, if it is stolen. And then if it is stolen, it's like there's so many questions you can ask. We'll also learn how to get use pendulum to check the energy. Like a lot of us, when we start with meditation and stuff, a lot of us, when we start working with angels, there is a doubt if that's an angel, if that's a spirit, if that's a ghost, if that's a negative entity, elemental, earthbound soul, right? So all those things, we can scan using pendulum, and we will be checking. We'll be able to check which part of our home has dirty energy, which part of the home has psychic contamination, has negative emotions. If there is anger, we can check those things also in us. If there is these certain traits in us, we can also try and experiment and check which chakra, which energy center has, it's like, if you know how to check the vibrations, you can check. We can also check the colors. So if you know how to check the colors, people are very fond. No, please check and tell me what color is my aura. You can use the pendulum to check the color of your aura. There's so many things, so many things. You can get to know more about yourself. A lot of times, okay, for example, somebody criticizes you for something. They say you have a lot of ego. And then you say, oh my God, but really? Is that true? So you can connect well. You can check how much ego you have, how much bias you have in you. There's so many things. In relationship, we can get the insights, just like we use the cards to check, the get deeper insights. We can use the pendulum to understand what is going wrong. In a relationship, there's a problem. What is going wrong? How I can do it. So you can use little for prediction in a way. Prediction, it's a good topic. Let's say, when we talk about astrology, okay, astrology is when we are born, there is a chart that is made, the planetary chart, that at the time of your birth, your first breath on the planet, on the planet Earth, what was the position of the planets based on which part of the world you are. And then according to astrology, again, there are two categories. Like there are two belief systems. So the two belief system is, one belief system of astrologers says that whatever is written in your chart, in your patri, your natal chart, that is exactly what is happening in your life. You cannot do anything about it. And then the another group of school of thought of astrology says that there is karma. You have the control over your karma. So a percentage will remain the same, but there is a percentage where you make different choices, then the result will change. And all those very high clairvoyant, the beings who can see past, present, future, who can see, there has been sharing that when they check, they say if a person is on the spiritual path, the person who is constantly working and evolving, their chart, the natal chart, and what is happening in life does not match. The reason is they are born with a set of lessons that they will learn, set of problems or challenges they will go through. But once they are on a progressive mode, with more speed, when you are working out, learning your lessons and evolving, then new lessons come in, the karmic baggage becomes less. So there is a chunk of time where the problems are more, but then there's a very smooth sail. So because you are not under control of your physical nature, but you are under control of your higher soul, or let's say your true inner self, when you connect with that divine, the true quality of you, then you don't make decisions based on impulse. You make decisions asking the question, if this is the right thing to do. And when you do more right things, it is like, you are no more sowing more negative seeds. On the contrary, you are doing more good actions, which is nullifying your negative karma. So what your Patri says and what is happening has no connection. And I think all those moments of your life, when you are more connected with your own true self, you will notice that what the person has predicted for you didn't come true. So it's not that the astrologer was bad, that the astrologer did not know the knowledge. But the good thing is that you are more refined, or at that particular moment of your life, you are more aligned with your own self. And that's why what the astrologer said did not resonate with what happened in your life. And whatever I share it from my own personal experience. I share it also from what I have noticed in my life. So you'll never come across anything which I'm asking you or telling you, which I have not done or which I don't follow. So everything, if I say you can do it, I have done it. And I'm trying to do, and I'm struggling at times, but I do it and it works. So what else? Let me see if there are certain questions. It is like scanning in pranic healing. Oh, that's a beautiful question. So all those pranic healers in pranic healing, Master Chua has come up with, I think the most brilliant technique is scanning. That we work on our hands, become very sensitive so that we can check and scan. And I think that is the most profound reason why I connected so strongly with pranic healing was there is nothing where a teacher is saying, this is it, and you blindly believe me. The session starts with, you do not believe whatever I say, use your own intelligent evaluation, experiment, validate for yourself. And I think for the kind of person I am, I'm very analytical. So I'll not just, I have faith, I'll believe, I'll say, okay, I'll accept whatever people are saying without judgment. But at the same time, to have my own faith or conviction, I'll always try and experiment. And I'll see how much that thing resonates with me, how much that thing is true for me. Okay. So in pranic healing, we learn scanning, but at times, most of the times, people struggle with scanning. I struggle with scanning. So sometimes there is bias which comes in. So when I have pendulum, I have an extra way to cross check. And if you know scanning, you can be even more creative with what you can do with pendulum, because you will have a different understanding. So where you use hands, you can use it. So it is like scanning. So all those who are non-pranic healers, or all those who do not know scanning, you can use pendulum to scan and check. Anything and everything that we check in pranic healing, the scanning. You can do it with pendulum as well. But then once, even if you're a non-pranic healer, and if you do pendulum, you'll notice that you are becoming more sensitive. So all those who are pranic healers and cannot scan, when you use pendulum, you'll notice that you're becoming more sensitive, and then scanning is becoming easier. Instead of asking somebody else to cross-check if that is correct, you have another extension of yourself, and you can use it to check what I check, is it true? I noticed there are a lot of times my daughter, she has started coming up with me, like, friends, they say something, small kids, they're so creative. They come up with so many ideas. And she would say, Mama, can you please check and tell me if what my friend said, is it true? I said, yeah, okay, why not? So you can check how much truth is there in what people are saying. If you are in an office, I have come across a situation with my family member. The boss is committing something, no, I'll promote you and this and this. And then you don't know how much truth is that and that. If this much part, you can check how much truth it is. So we can be creative in checking. For me, pendulum really helps me in getting my ideas clear, better understanding about a situation where I'm stuck in, better understanding in making choices with what is good, what is bad. And because I do card reading, it always adds up, you know. It's like you can, pendulum is not just which you have to use alone, you can combine it with any other modality that you know, and it will just enhance the quality, the information that you have. It will enhance your confidence because you can cross check always how much right you are and where you are going wrong, like that. You know, sometimes we come across a situation where we have a tussle with somebody, like there is some friction in a relationship, and the person is saying that I have not done it. I did not say that about you. That person is lying. How do you know? You can check. You can check if this person is, if somebody is saying sorry to you and you don't know if I should trust or not. You can check. Can I trust him? Or are there possibilities? So whenever we will ask about a question related to future, I'll guide you all how to have the right way of asking. Because sometimes, you know, like I said, karma has a very, very important role in our life. So for example, if right now, based on whatever preparation I have, if I'm going to sit for an exam and I ask, will I be selected? Will I pass the test? It will tell the answer based on my current energy. But if I say right now, so if I said and the answer came no, you will fail. So I have 10 days in between. And if I say, if I do this in these 10 days, then is there a possibility that I can succeed? So there is a way where you include the karma. So if this is fatal, whatever I do, will it just remain the same? Or if I do something, do I have the control to change it? It really makes a lot of difference. So when you know there is nothing you can do about it, there are situations where you cannot do anything about, right? You can use pendulum to release the blockages in you, so that thing is not bothering too much. So this is a part of pendulum is also used for healing. And I'll come up with a very thorough and deep intensive course where you can learn how to use pendulum for healing without any healing background also. So if you are a healer, this will be an added tool. If you are not a healer, you will be able to heal using pendulum. But for that, this 5 days workshop will be the foundation. So healing will come secondary once you are really in tune with the pendulum. And then when for the healing, you will use the pendulum to choose which crystal you need to use. So when we'll do the 5 days course, the last day, the 5th day, I'll share all those questions. I'll share all the techniques so that all those who choose in future after few months, because I'll give a few months gap so that you're already very, very, connected with your pendulum. You are very confident. Like if somebody says you are telling the answer, you know that's how it is. You have no doubt. So I'll give few months of time so that you can connect, work well with the pendulum. And I'll give all the details related to if you choose to step into healing with pendulum, then how to choose the crystal, how to use which pendulum to use, that we'll cover in the last day. Because once we are not connected with the pendulum, that is an alien language. But for this 5 days series, I'll at least tell that much where you can use the pendulum to release blockage in you. So if you feel it will not be thorough, once you learn healing, the blockages will be removed very thoroughly, but at least to a certain extent, it will be done. So that I can share. So let me see. Can we find lost article through dowsing? Lost article, that means you have it somewhere in the computer. There are different files. Well, for the laptop and stuff, there is a search option. You write and you will find it. But you need to give me, detail, like article uh, lost where, like what kind, so then I can tell. There is a fee also. Yes, there's a fee. There's a fee, right? In all the, it's mentioned, no? It's, I think, 2,300 something. We'll share. Shadi or Ashirwad, they'll share. For all the courses, like especially the sessions that I offer, I also check how much is the minimum that a person needs to share as an energy exchange to be able to receive. So if you notice, for the womb healing session, it was around 100 something rupees per day for per session. But for the pendulum, it is not the same. There is an understanding behind charges also. And the understanding is, uh, whatever is happening externally in our life is the reflection of what is going on inside. That is for everyone. And that's why we work on ourselves, because the more pure, the more refined we are inside, the more sorted we are inside, the less chaos will be externally. Right? So when there is a charge, there is a fee, energy exchange, investment, payment, whatever you say, when that is defined, there is a capability, no, how much a person can pay. The prosperity also comes based on the inner condition of a person. So what I have noticed over the period of time, like there was a question which came to me, no, I always ask if this is the right thing to do. I always ask if I should offer this for free. And then I always ask, if not for free, then how much should be the minimum? That's my approach always. Like, what is the minimum that I should ask, which will help? There is no end to the maximum, no? Like anybody can ask anything. It doesn't matter. You will find courses of pendulum even more than, 100,000 Indian rupees, like 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh. People charge anything and everything. My thing is, how much should be the minimum a person should, so that the person can utilize what the person is. There's so many sessions, I would say, where you enroll but you don't get anything out of it, right? So there's a little the base minimum I asked. And then there was a question which came to me, like, to divine, to higher self, whatever you will say, why there is a disparity. Like, why it is that for certain things a very small minimum amount comes, why for another thing a bigger amount comes, why for little medium comes, like why there's a disparity. And then in that meditation, this insight came to me, was that there has to be a certain baseline in terms of the person mental ability, emotional ability. So if a person is not able to pay that much, if a person is not able to arrange that much for that, it's no point that person do that course at that moment. It won't help, because the bare minimum requirement which is there internal is not there. So that's why you will notice, like, I'm talking this for the session that I offer, because I have control over only what I offer. So if you will notice throughout, you will see that there is a difference in the price. And once you know dowsing, you can also check. Before the book, you can check if this is the right author for me. Like me, there's so many people who offer courses. If this is the right session for me, you can check with the pendulum. If this facilitator, uh, is genuine, is knowledgeable, like you can check always. We don't scan or check without taking permission of people. That is one etiquette that we follow. But at the same time, where I have to invest, like for example, if I have to make a business partner, will I not check about the partner? Right? So when you have to invest in a course and you really want to know if that is the right thing, it is right thing to do, to check. It is intelligent evaluation. Just like before marrying, you do all the research about the family of the spouse. You try your best to know, right? So it is the same thing. So even for the courses, you can check. Even when people have doubts, if this house will be okay for me, this direction of house will be okay for me, you can always check. You can always check. Pendulum has made my life very easy, not just for me, for others. Because, if I scan and if I tell, people do not always believe. When you say, this thing is moving in front of you, they trust more with what they see. So a lot of time it becomes very easy for me to show. That's why in a lot, I think in most of my sessions, the pendulum is always there. When I ask people to scan, because I know not everybody can scan. So I'll show, and then I have got feedback, Kim, I know what I was seeing with my eyes, but my mind was not ready to accept. How can it be true? So it's really interesting to challenge and to see. It opens up a different dimension. And the best thing is, it is not external. Your connection with your own self, your connection with the divine, your connection with the consciousness that gets more strong and strengthened. So it is not the crystal that is answering. It is you in a different way, connecting with your soul. And I experienced that even in healing. It was amazing. I noticed that when I use pendulum for healing, there is such a strong connection. All those who are healers who understand. See, when we heal, what happens? The energy comes in and we use our hands to project, to remove, right? So when I was using pendulum, I realized it was not all flowing through me. It's like the connection of the soul. Just like we say, the energies of the higher beings come down to the teacher, then come down to us, the group conscious to us. Same way the energies come down to us. And then from our soul connection, it goes to the soul. So it doesn't have to per se pass through my physical body. It will anyway come to me. The healing, I participate because I will be receiving, but it does not have to pass through my body to go through the other person. So what I notice, the quality of the energy that goes is refined, because it is not going through my system of my stress, worry, whatever is going on. It is so from the high, it's beautiful. And also when I use pendulum for healing, and then when I use this, I have noticed there is such a strong flow of energy. It's like this pendulum just goes for a small yes, it goes full flow, because that connection is so strong. It's flowing so strongly. It's a beautiful journey. Yeah. And I think all those who can scan, always scan, even for whatever I'm sharing, scan and check how much truth is there in what she's saying. If this is the session, no matter how good this session sound, if this is something that can help me, so you can, I just go through. There is free will also, I already discussed. Should we buy pendulum according to our zodiac sign? For the first pendulum, I'll again say, get the one that you feel attracted to. And then the zodiac sign or whatever, we'll keep this question and we'll check with the pendulum how much help it will do if you check it. Which zodiac sign will help you more? You can try that too. There are so many schools of thoughts. One is sun sign, one is moon sign, right? And then if you understand the esoteric astrology, or if you understand the astrology where you see the chart not from the perspective of this life, but from the perspective of the soul's journey, there is a rising sign, which talks about what your soul has to develop in this lifetime based on the chart. So which zodiac sign will you choose? Which zodiac sign pendulum will best work for you? The sun sign, the moon sign, the rising sign? Or probably at this particular time, there is a sign, that kind of quality you need to develop, because the challenges lies there. If I buy the pendulum connecting with that particular sign, will it help me work better with my challenges? So many ways. So the first pendulum, just go through online. If you have a store, you can just hold and see. If you have a store, that happens with even the crystals. You just hold and you know that you want it. But when we don't have the physical store, you just go online and you just browse and see. Price does not matter. quality does not matter. What matter is which pendulum you are getting attracted to. Metal, crystal, wood, anything will work. The first pendulum, I'm saying. Because the first pendulum will be the one with which we will connect. Once you are in tune and we are using the tool, but we are connecting with ourselves. So once we have that connection intact, then you can choose. Because in healing, we will choose particular pendulum for removing the blockages, for psychological healing, for physical healing. So then we will choose. But right now, just go ahead with what you get most connected with. Does our growth affect our family growth also? To a certain degree, yes. To a certain degree, yes. And then, you know, have you experienced this or noticed that when a spiritual master is there, when you are there in their presence, the mind works differently. A lot of healing just happens. A lot of guidance just comes in. And I think similar kind of stories we read about people who were there with Lord Rama, with Krishna, with Jesus, with Sai Baba, with Master Choa, right? There's so many stories. Same goes with us, no? The more refined we are, the more Christ conscious, Buddha conscious develops or grows or unfolds in us, the better beings we are, the better server we are. So all those who are healing, I think, I'm very sure, all those who are very regular in healing, have you not experienced at times that the person called you or messaged you at the late night? You could not even do the healing, and the person, before starting the healing, there is a gap between the message. The person says, "Oh, thank you so much. I am already feeling better," and you are not even at the position to say, "I did not even do." How many of you have experienced that? Yes, I see hands. Right? Why it happens? You think that this physical body is at most important. It is a limitation. The soul does not. So once we are healers, like when we are in the process of healing consciously, uh, the soul knows, the beings who work with us knows, and they do their work. So at times we don't have to do it. So just imagine the family who is strongly connected with us, who stays with us. They are the lucky ones. Or rather say, we are karmically bound to help and contribute in their spiritual journey. So yes, the family gets the effect. How much? There's a lot of if and buts and criterias, but yes, they all get the benefits, and that's how ancestral healing and generational healings are there. No, we are one, we are working, but how come the entire generation is doing? I see Sangeeta doing something. Uh, Tell me, what are you showing, Sangeeta? I saw you checking. Oh, wait. Can you unmute yourself?
It was, yeah, I can do. Thank you. I'll see. I was just asking you that I have this hanging crystal. Can I use it? And by waiting for the answer, I just asked the crystal that should I do this course? And it see, it
Saying
has
yes.
started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. Mm, yeah.
It's
It
a
means
beautiful.
I can use this.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can.
use this.
Is it is it
Yeah.
is it crystal
Yes,
cause?
it's the crystal. It's the crystal quartz. Yeah.
It's
I
very
bought
good.
it for feng shui reason. Yeah, but now this will help me out.
You can also ask this if you would want to
Mm.
use it for healing, or
Okay.
as I notice.
Uh,
Okay, thanks for putting this. I'll share. There is a different crystal that we use for healing. So I noticed with me,
Can I use this for
life
healing?
life has been
Yeah.
life has been one which teaches a lot. I'll share something. It's very interesting. It is
Mm.
actually very interesting. So when I came across the this pendulum, and then I was just using it, but then I thought, how about because I knew that this was not, it's not pure. It gives all my answers. So I thought of, and then when I checked here, I was not able to find a good quality uh, pendulum here. So what I do, there was a crystal ball, like the rose quartz ball that I have. This was extra. And I thought, how about I get it converted into crystal? So I went to the shop, like any shop, and I asked, and I gave them the idea. So they made it, they covered it, protected it, and then they made the hook. And then I just asked them to just give me one chain because I need to hold it. So if you see, this is a chain which you use for the jewelry. It goes like this. But I just use it with one hook to use. And then I never noticed whenever I asked use this crystal for the questions, I was not satisfied. It was moving less, not moving, as if the crystal is saying, I'm not interested. I'm literally telling you, it was not at all interested in answering my questions. And I noticed that this one with plastic mix or what sort, it works even now. It's very happy. When you connect, there are beings, no, there are consciousness, they're very happy. Just like Sangeeta was sharing. They become very happy and then they just, oh my God, you're going to know about me. I will have more connection. I'll be able to communicate. There's so much I need. It's an interesting thing. It's a beautiful journey, I would say. And there's one more story which came, I'll share after this. So I noticed that this is giving such amazing answers. And this one is not, but this is a good quality rose quartz. Then one day when my daughter was not feeling really well and she was not letting me move or something, I said, how about it just came, how about I use this crystal for the healing? And I used, and the kind of work it did was amazing. So there are crystals who are healers, and there are crystals who are lazy. All those healers, if you notice that there is certain crystal you use, you will get calls, you will get so much of obstacles, or the crystal will just break easily. That crystal is not ready to heal. So that's why all those senior healers, or I would say who are more, when they scan for the crystal to choose for healing, we scan for the energy of service. We scan for their quality of their readiness to be used for healing. Third, we scan for their readiness to work with me. That's why it is said, no, you scan the crystal and see what to scan in the crystal to see. If it is a good quality crystal, every crystal will have a great energy, no? So what do I need to check so that it works well with me? So then we scan these things. You just write down and make notes. You can do it next time whenever if you're a healer and you use crystals for healing. Like you scan for the quality, that's true, but scan for the willingness to serve. Scan for the willingness to be used for healing. Scan for the capacity to heal. Because sometimes I've noticed my small crystal does the maximum healing, and the bigger ones, they are not interested. So this one was not interested in answering me. He said, oh, come on, that's not my job. You use that small one. But the moment I use it for healing, it is doing amazing work. And that's how, that motivated me. When I offered you all for the 5 days workshop, that I never thought of coming up with the, in future, the session where I can teach somebody. But this crystal, it's like, started falling out, jumping out. And then I'm sorry, but my daughter has to suffer because she was the one in the difficult phase. And then I used it. And then that thing came. And then the calling came, don't share it with others. Not everybody is privileged to go out and learn healings. This is online course. They can have recordings. They can go through in their own time, and everyone. So you can just participate, and contribute. So all those that's a beautiful thing. Okay, the another story which came to me. So when I initially started working with crystal, I was very excited, like, oh my God. And when I went in India to meet the family, there were a lot of nieces and nephews who were there, so I just wanted to show them, do you know this works? And they were like, yeah, mommy ji, chachi, or whatever. So the tiny, and it's like they play with me like as if I'm a kid. And they're always like, what extra creative thing that you have? So I said, let's see. So they, to check, to check if it works, they were saying, okay, one of my niece, she came and say, okay, you tell me if I like ice creams or not. Like, ask the crystal if I like ice cream. Okay. So it's like those kind of questions to check if this really works. And I literally noticed that the crystal is telling a lie. Like if she's saying, if I like ice cream, and it is saying no. And then I asked the crystal again in front, were you joking? Says yes. Literally, were you joking with the kid? It say yes. Why? Because initially it got offended that you are just testing me like this. But then it played along. So I said, please do not let the trust broke now. And then I said, okay, come on. And then it just answered everything correctly. So they were like, wow, can we do it? I said, yes, you can do it. Why not? So my crystal, this pendulum told me that it does not like the other person to touch it. So with my journey of the pendulum, it was my personal experiences that built in. So it was not a particular course that I did for that matter. It was my whole journey, because they, even right now, it's, they don't let me read about them. Something or the other happens. It's like you connect with us, you learn through us. So it's, so 5 days, what we are going to do, it's going to be a workshop. So it will not be like I'm speaking and you're listening. I'll be doing and you'll be doing along with me. So in those 5 days, if you cannot join live, recordings will be the same, because you will have to just do it same way, just whatever I'm sharing, you have to do it right there, right then. Then you can share your challenges, what you are experiencing. I have come across certain people who said, oh, I got the crystal, but I got the pendulum, but it's not working with me. And that was the first time when I realized, oh, it happens that they don't work also. Like they're there, but they're not answering. So then came up another, you know, guidance, that how to make people internally be aligned so that they can use. Not everybody is, it's like if you are very good with what you can say, anything. If you are very good with painting, for example, it will not come. How is it possible that the other person is not able to do it? It just comes naturally, right? So with me, that was the first time I realized, oh, it happens that if somebody has the crystal, it's still not working for them. But how? So we'll work. So in the process of connecting with the pendulum, we'll be connecting. It's a lot of healing which happens when you connect with yourself. A lot of shift that happens. Can we validate if somebody's lying? Yeah, we share that. Yes, it is true. Astrology prediction are not always true, right? But when we are under evolution. But then for our own problems, if we dowse, then our own judgments are attached in result. Yes, that's true. And then we'll work how to don't let our judgments come in. We ask crystal at times, if whenever we have, suppose if a certain stressful condition is going on in my life and I have to ask about it, right? But there's so much of stress and fear and worry. So the first thing which I will do, I'll ask crystal. I will ask, not the crystal, sorry, the pendulum. I'll ask. Actually, I'm asking my own self if this is the right time for me to ask about this. If I ask it right now, will I be able to get the right question, the right knowledge, the right answer, the right direction? It tells us. And once it say no, right, the shift happens. Why? Because you become more aware of what is wrong with your mind. Again, there is a process. It's a beautiful question. We'll do it, Nandita, that way. I'll make you all think about the worry thing, and we'll work. Like I said, we'll do all experimental things. Like there is tension about something, and you're asking what is happening, how to get ourselves aligned so that amidst the chaos, we can still get the right answer. So yes, it does impact. The more spiritually connected a person is, the accuracy of the answer is very, very high. The more emotionally, mentally drained or impacted a person is, and that's how it doesn't answer at times. So we will work. It is a spiritual journey again. Like with me, whatever you do, it is the inner journey. All these tools are just an added extension or things that we use, but the journey is ourself. So we will work. In what case can we get wrong answer? Okay, like for example, let's think of an example that is very prevalent. Let's say I want to get a job in a particular company and I want to get a particular salary. Now the interview is maybe after 2 days, and I am asking with bias, I will be selected or not. It will say yes. Because I really want to be in that. So it is, like I said, it is not the crystal or the pendulum which is answering, it's your own thing. So the will of manifesting it is so strong that it will catch on it and it's saying yes. Thank you, I know. So it will catch on it and it will just reply that way. It is same like scanning. When you scan and if you have emotional attachment, oh my God, I just don't, do I have a particular ailment, and I'm checking that the person says that there's a chance that this tumor is a cancer. Do I have it? And I really want the answer to be no. So when there is a lot of bias inside, it manipulates. That's why we say scanning can be bias. If I have pride in me, I am very evolved. If I'm checking my chakras, it will automatically show it's big because my mind is not ready to see the reality. I already have the covering. So we will work on that so that we let go of the biases. We let go of, and we can just, like I said, when you do it in the right way, a lot of evolution happens because you see it through and through that this is how it is. And sometimes you will learn it with experience. How come the crystal said that? The crystal did not say anything. The pendulum did not say anything. You were not ready to listen to it. I am madly in love with a person, and the person is a narcissist, and I got red flags. I still want to marry. And I am asking, and it is saying the same thing. When I'm going to my friend, it is saying no, don't go. Why? I don't want to see. That's why it is said no, a doctor cannot treat himself. An astrologer cannot read his own chart. A tarot card reader cannot read his own cards. I do it. Like, I'm not a doctor per se, but I can do my own readings. A healer cannot do the healing of their own family members. Yes. So much of attachment. So we'll work on letting go, We'll work on how to let go of those so that we are more aligned. Will you be taking card reading session too? Yes, I will. There's still time. I will. And this time strongly coming is for the tarot cards. Last time we did oracle angel cards, so I will come. But you have to. In fact, if you do pendulum, you'll be able to learn the card reading faster because you already are in connection. It's so. Does it make one bias of something? Yes, it makes bias of relationship. If pendulum and card reading doesn't match, how do we decide? That's a beautiful question, Bharti. You ask, you ask and check for your own bias. Check if I am biased in reading or if I am biased in this. We also take the help of Archangel Michael. We ask to please cut the cords of my expectation of my connection with the desired answer. And sometimes we just take time off. You just leave that, don't pursue it. Take a picture of the cards, the what you open, and then go back. And once you are more centered, then you come and do the reading again, or then you come and do the pendulum again. So sometimes we just need to let it be for that moment. We cannot push after a certain period of time. So everything depends. Depend on whom? depend on us. How quickly we can disconnect and we can connect. Disconnect from what we don't want to and connect with the self. Maybe our fear and doubt comes in our dowsing result. Yes. That's what I said. We'll work on how to keep ourselves centered. Can we manifest? We all manifest everything. You might have manifested this session also. Because with me, I get callings. Like my family tells me that, Kim, you're crazy. Suddenly I'm sitting and I'll be even, I think, I don't know, Jaideep and Ashwada never said it upfront to me, but I don't know if they think that she has some screws gone here, there. Out of nowhere, I would just come out that, okay, let's do it. And so we manifest. You know how we manifest? The best and the best way, what I feel, which works the fastest. You just do whatever you can and don't think about the result, like the Gita says. And that's how, because the more we do it with feverishness, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, I want this to happen. Every want I'm energizing, I don't have. Every want makes me subconsciously remember all the challenges, all the weaknesses, the doubts, the worries. So when I say, okay, I am doing my job right, I am doing to the best, Almighty, please manifest whenever is the best time for me. Please manifest, that is for my highest good. So once you do it with that, with that perspective that I am doing this, and if this is the right thing to happen for me, it will. So then there's no connection with the result. The feverishness comes when we become impatient. The other day in the Archangel meditation, I was giving the reference of the book Battling Dark Forces. And it mentioned that speed is the work of evil. Speed, no, fast, fast, fast. I want it fast. Why? And that's why meditation is where you just need to sit. And that's how the light comes in. So whenever we want something very fast, it should happen right away, right away, right away. We are actually being influenced by the dark energies. Dark energies cannot manifest the right things. It will always have a glitch. So do whatever is best, because sometimes we feel this is the best thing for me. Okay, I'll share my example so that you'll connect. So many years ago, we were in India, and my husband got the relocation for the US. And we were really happy to go because we already went there for project. We liked the place and stuff. And then we had the tickets ready. And then just before the tickets, like when you go for visa, the girl ruling and said that we are holding on giving to the, from different countries because we want to more employed to our own citizens. Because even for our home, the things, my neighbors, they were coming and saying, okay, I have booked this bed. So when will she go and when will I get the bed? It's like you say, you don't, but then we got to relocated to Indonesia. Can you all hear me? Because for me, you seem frozen. Can you all hear me, guys? Yes, no? Bad. Can you all hear me now? It was cracking, right? So what happened? Yeah. So what happened? That thing got cancelled, but after some certain time, we got the chance to get relocated to Indonesia. So when we got relocated to Indonesia, I was like, what is Indonesia? What is this country? You do your own search, and I checked that's a Muslim country. And in India, know what kind of understanding they have. And I was like, fine, because in my family, we have best of friends in Muslim community. So, but I was like, why? Like, what is this God? Why you left that? And then we are going to a place, Jakarta, I never even heard of that time. But when I went, those 5 years were the best years of my life. literally the best. The kind of friends I made, the way I connected with, there was no traveled all the way to another island and then we organized. There was such a beautiful memories that I have. This I shared. Why? Because sometimes we feel that this thing is the best for me. But every time that thing we are just trying our best to manifest, it does not. I have my own sharings. This is just one thing which I shared, which is really, really big. Sometimes, or most of the times, God knows the best for us. So if we are asking for something which is not that good, He does not let it happen because He has a different plans. And when those plans manifest, then we say, oh my God, this has been the best thing that could ever happen. Because I could possibly not even think of it. And now in my business, so many times people say, why don't you work on this? Why don't you work on manifesting? And I say, because I'm very greedy. With my limited perceptions, I know only this much. If I know only this much, just like we say, no, mendak, wake mendak, the frogs in the well, I just know my well. And if I will pray to God, I will pray to God based on what I see. But God knows everything, right? So why will I limit His giving to me by asking to manifest a particular thing? I cannot do it. I just say, okay, this is like God, I like this, but you do what you think is best for me. I cannot I cannot come up. There are certain things when you pray, if somebody's sick, you ask for the well-being. That's different. But for the wishes per se, I don't do those manifestations because I think I'll ask for less. So that's it. I am just, I miss certain questions. Okay, there are so many questions that I missed. I'm just going to the last one, which I read, so that what we need dowsing. Okay, will we need dowsing board also? Very, very good question. We will make our dowsing boards. You don't need to spend money unnecessarily on what so many people just make business out of everything. So for all the lazy ones, you just go ahead because the dowsing board is very limited. It's very, very limited to what that board is saying. We can create so many things and you don't even need so many. We don't need anything from market. You just get a pendulum if you can, because that helps. Because if you make with a thread and something, that connection sometimes does not come because the logical mind creates a lot of doubt subconsciously. So you just get one pendulum that is most connected with you, and that's more than enough. That's really more than enough. We'll make all those boards by ourselves. In fact, we don't need a particular board. We'll just do it. It's going to be fun. You can purchase pendulum on Amazon. You have it, or any online forum where you buy things. Can we check organ functionality? We'll go deep into it when we'll work in the next series, when we'll work with learning the healing of using pendulum. Right now it is like, the basic connection is not there, and then we go too much into deep. We are neither here nor there. So in this 5 days workshop, we'll not work much on the healing. I'll give you tips related to releasing the blockage. That's it. But for organs and health issues, that we'll cover in after few months, when we'll come up with the healing with pendulum. How to remain neutral for our personal questions during time. We'll teach, yes. When can a pendulum go wrong? Yeah, when we are disconnected, when we are biased, when we are very much in the influence of our emotions and thoughts. I have misplaced keys. Can I use pendulum to find? Of course you can. Time of workshop will be 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time, Monday to Friday, starting from 15th of May. And the session will last more or less around 1 hour. The recordings will be shared. The recordings will be available for 1 month. And even if you don't make it live, you can just go to the recording, because it is not even a meditation. Whatever I'm sharing, you just have to do it on yourself. I will be there with everybody. So any questions you can just ask, and I'll take care of it. Can you share the link of today's session? Yes, we will share the link of today's session. A gold bangle lost, to know whether it is lost or stolen. Yes, we can check. What the chart on which pendulum is shown, photo like star design, whether we have purchased that. No, we don't need to purchase any of that paper. Like the person said, no, the board, we don't need to. We'll just check. We'll create. Yeah. How will pendulum move for yes or no answer? Yes, pendulum gives very fast yes or no answers. We will learn how to heal with pendulum, not in this 5 days workshop is mainly to work with pendulum, to get to know, to get insights, to understand. The healing of pendulum is altogether a very deep and thorough process that will be after few months will come up. But for that, you really need to do this 5 days things so that you are in tune. I have this hanging crystal candle. Oh, this we already done. How to choose and where to buy. Okay, it is same. You can buy anywhere from Amazon online forum. Buy that which you feel more connected with. Yes, I noticed crystal chooses you. Same with pendulum purchases. Yes. Some people get attracted to more fine and clear, and some are to crystals with intrusions. Why it is so? It doesn't matter. See, like I said, it is not about the quality and intrusion of the crystal. It is about how much in alignment that crystal is with you. How much that crystal really wants to work with you. Like I said, that this was not giving answers to me because it wanted to work. It does not have the qualities of giving insights. It is more inclined towards healing. So it is not about the quality and the appearance. It is about how well it gel with you and how much ready a pendulum or a crystal or a stone is to work with you. So external appearance doesn't matter. I have a brass metal pendulum. You can use that. Can we use a metal one? Yes. But the pendulum singing depends on hand movements. We don't move the hands. So if I have to use a pendulum, for example, the hand has to be stable. Like it is not supposed to move. Then only the pendulum will move. It is saying yes. It is affirming. Yeah. She's saying correct. Listen to her. So we don't move the pendulum. In fact, if you move the hand, the pendulum will not move so smoothly. Just like you take something and then you move. If I will use, for example, this, and if I will just move, see how it is moving. Let me show you. See how it is moving. Do you see? There is, it's, my hand is, it will move not in a smooth function. You know that there is an influence. But if it moves on its own, do you see there's a stability? Right now, I'm not moving. It's just moving and affirming what I'm saying is right. Do you see the difference? Right? And when I move it like this, do you see that? See, it's very, very prominently there. There's a difference when you move, and there's a difference. Does it predict about karma? We'll not work more on predictions. And karma is such a vast and complicated matter. It's tricky even to understand. Few days ago, someone gifted me. Great. So the weight and size of the pendulum does not matter. For questioning the 5-day series, it does not matter. For the healing, it will matter. So for the healing in the 5-day series, the last day, we will work and understand what kind of weight, what kind of crystal you will choose if you want to use the pendulum for healing. So that when we'll do the healing workshop, so for asking questions, weight, quality, it doesn't matter. Just the connection matters. We'll share the recordings. My son always wants to know who will win the match. You know, it's a good way to build your trust with the pendulum. Okay, you ask, okay, let's see today who will win, and then just see how well it goes, because it will also show how much spiritually connected you are with what's going to happen. Everybody does not have the trait. So initially you will notice that right now, if you're using, for example, you're watching IPL. So today, once it's initial stages of pendulum, you are checking, sometimes it is coming yes, sometimes like it is coming true, sometimes not. But the more you are aligned, the percentage of accuracy of the pendulum will increase. But then there is one more thing, no? Like I said, for the future predictions, karma plays a very important role. So if in the match, when you are checking, if it is taking the energy of the present energy, the mindset, the enthusiasm of the player, it will be predicting. See, predicting is you are making guessing, it's not that will happen. You are just trying to guess. But for example, XYZ, the player X was playing very good when you check, and the team was doing good, right? It came that certain result will come. But after a period of time, there was so much of demoralizing that happened in the team. A lot of wickets went off. So suddenly, but then, so when you check at that time, because of the lower energy, the mental state, the fear, the pressure, it is coming a different answer. But the moment the person again has the rekindled faith or belief, it will have different. So for predictions, generally we avoid using pendulum, because it will just pick the energy and it will predict based on what is there right now. A lot of actions is included. Okay, we use pendulum. The best way is to get insights, to understand, and to make better decisions, so that when, like I said, we always have if and buts. If I do this, will it change the result? If this happens, if that happens. So mere predictions, not a good idea. Each day, how many hours? 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is more than enough, because we'll be doing, maybe once you are more aligned, will not even take full 1 hour. You'll be picking up very fast. But let's say 1 hour max. Do we have to attend workshop live? It is good if you attend live. It is good if you go through the recordings. Both ways, it's same. The only thing is, you see, some people get very much like, oh no, but I missed the live session. So if you fall in that category, you attend live. If you are in the category like me, live session, very good. Recordings, very good. Both will work fine with you. uh, Before the class, yes, please buy one pendulum. If you buy, it's good. Recordings will be there. Do we need to invoke and pray every time before we want to use it? It is a brilliant idea. We'll do that too. Why? Because, like I said, it is an extension of ourselves. So the more centered and aligned we are, sometimes, once I can really give that also in writing. Slowly and gradually, when you are more aligned, during the invocation, you will know the answer, what you intend to ask in the pendulum. So we'll not have, you'll say, oh my God, now I'm wasting, I'm not using pendulum, it's already there. Sometimes we just use pendulum because we like using it. So once you're aligned, you don't need to use, you will just know it. But a lot of times when we know it, we doubt. So we cross-check and rekindle, or come again in the center of the faith. Why some people like this, I said. I'm a healer. When I detach, then I can heal the family. Yes, that's the same that happens. Same question can be asked by two dowsers at the same time to validate the answer. Yeah, you can use 100 of dowsers. It doesn't matter, because it's not the dowser that is answering. It is you who is answering. It is not the pendulum which is healing. It is you who is being an instrument of healing, and the energy is healing through you. It is just a tool. It is just a tool. How to say? As a child crawls. To make a child stand and walk, you hold the hands, right? The child hold the things. But does the child always require, or can the child not learn walking without the hands, all the things? It is the same. These are just tools, just tools. Angel class will you take? I don't know yet. There are different types of tarot readings which can, whenever I'll offer tarot, we'll talk about it. Whatever it can be used for share market transactions, I would say not to do it. Because again, there is a very, see, when we say market shares, it's gambling, no? So the negative entities of gambling are around you when you do that. That's why we are very, very influenced. So all those who do transactions, the share, if you think that you can predict, those entities will have more impact on you. But when you bring in the divine light aspect by studying, by understanding different companies, different shares, their past, present, future predictions, this and that. So when you're using your mental body, it is no more a gambling. It is the discernment, the divine light comes in, and you know this to do it, no matter an astrologer says this or a pendulum dowser say this. So for those kind of things, I highly recommend not to use it, because the more you go into getting guesswork, you will be more prone to be influenced, negatively influenced by the dark energies. So for that, we need more light, more research, study, understanding, so that you are making a conscious decision out of discernment and not because of the influence of your wishes. Oh my God, if I just this share today give me 100,000 crores. My husband calls me mad for planning. Yeah, that's okay. What about Kriya Shakti in pranic? This is not a forum to talk about it. But the triangles team has the Kriya Shakti, the golden ball sessions. So it's better to talk in that forum, because I cannot just speak anything and everything here. But in short, what I would say, if you observe the teachings of Master Choa without the bias, you will notice what he's actually pointing out to. So if according to him, what I understand Kriya Shakti is that spiritually you really, really need to be pure, good, righteous. You really, really need to have a very good karmic bank account. How will you get good karmic bank account? By being greedy in donating. See, if I am donating, thinking that this will come back to me, you can check the energy of prosperity in that. It won't be. It's greed. So Master Chua, he develops those qualities that when you have the opportunity to serve the person who is receiving the service, be grateful. So when he used to give to a beggar, he would say thank you. So if you really go deep in the teachings of Kriya Shakti and not just the technique, if you really develop that internally, what Master is saying, you would not need to do the technique. It will just happen. The technique is just the way so that he can make everybody be more connected and aligned physically, ethically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It is just his way of bringing in more people, because not everybody is attracted to spirituality. But everybody is attracted to making more money, being successful, have my wishes. So in order to capture those people, no doubt that's what I said. No, the internal comes in external. So you hold the nose from here, you hold the nose from there, you're holding the nose only. So with Master Choa, He just made these teachings available for every layman, and he has every person to receive something of their interest. You have health problem, you can help. You have relationship problem, you can help. Spiritual problem, you can have. Success, everything, right? But if you see the core of Kriya Shakti, of Arhatic, of Pranic, everything is same. Work on yourself, be a better person, be a humble servant of God. Servants don't think much about manifesting. Their Lord takes care, no? See, if I have a helper, I take care that she has everything so that she works properly. If we all can be a really good servants, we'll be taken care of. We are anyways taken care of. It's our greed, our, you know, uh, the division that we made in us around us that creates the problem. How does dowsing board look like? You do not need a dowsing board. Please don't go that way. No need to go that way. We'll we'll create things like based on what answers you need. We'll create our own boards. We don't even need a board. We'll just use paper and pen. That's more than enough. So for dowsing sessions, you just need paper, pen, and then, or you can need a notebook. You can use a notebook. Sometimes we just need that we, instead of having different papers for different situations, you can have a notebook. But then if you use a notebook, use the one without the lines, like the plain sheet, A4 sheet, small sheets, any size is okay. Can I use my extra Star of David pendulum as a extra Star of David pendant as a pendulum? Yeah, you can try. Why not? Star of David is this shape, right? Can you check? It is this kind of shape, no? Star of David, if I'm not wrong. Like in the Christmas, how you get. If that is so, I would say don't use it. It's a very strong symbol, and it is at the same time constructive and destructive. So if it is not pure and positive, it will create a lot of chaos. So ask and choose wisely. Can you suggest a tarot card set for the first time tarot? I think it's the best to start with Raider White. Raider Waite, no? Raiderwai. Will you be providing reference notes? Yeah, this is a very good question. It is a workshop. It will not be a theoretical session. We'll be doing everything. So there is no notes because there is nothing to understand mentally. Pendulum dowsing is something to experience. It is same like, I want to learn swimming. Can you give me notes for swimming? It will not help. You just need to be in the water. I want to learn how to drive a car. I want to learn how to ride a scooter. Notes will do of nothing. So if somebody's giving notes, it's a lot of doubt and confusion that a lot of information creates. So what I would want you is just let go of all those doubts and confusions and practically do it and learn it and just be proficient. Excess of everything is bad. So when there's a lot of information, uh, I cannot do things. I cannot move only. If I just think about the traffic rules, I'll not be able to go out and ride my cycle. Forget about driving car. Should it be plain crystal pendulum, colored? It doesn't matter. For the question answering, whichever you get connected with. What is a pendulum board? You check pendulum board and you will find a lot of things, circles, squares, there are sheets. You don't need to know it. We'll just work. We'll create our own boards. Is it something similar with SRT? I don't know what SRT is. Full form, please. Can we rest our hand so that hand doesn't move? That's a good question. So what I notice, if for asking questions, like this is a small one, so generally the hand doesn't get tired. So if I'm taking a water bottle and I'm using it, at times the energy of the bottle influence, or the energy of what I'm resting on influence. So slowly and gradually, once you are more aligned, then resting on something will not help. Better is if I can rest and hold my hand, or if I'm on the chair, I can do it. But if you use something else, it influences. For healing, it influences a lot. But for answering, it influences less. But once you're more connected, it will become less of the external influence, so you'll be able to check it. But these ones are very light, so the hand does not get tired much actually. Is it okay to use thread instead of chain? Yes, it is okay to use thread. Can we use the crystal pendulum which I had at home? Yeah, you can use any pendulum. If you are connected with it, you like it, just do it. I made a temporary pendulum after your last session and used to predict for IPL, and it worked wonderfully. Only once it came otherwise. That's awesome. Does it move due to physics or really due to the questions? That's a very good question. Mansi, how about we try it and see in the 5 days? How many times are you making it just move psychically? But yes, it can move psychically if I intend to. We'll experiment that also. We'll experiment that also in the class. There's a one, okay, I'll share. I'll hold my pendulum and I'll ask everybody to make it move one direction psychically. And I'll try to make it move in another direction. We'll do so much of fun in the class. So this question, we will practically experiment and see that how much you are able to influence the other person's pendulum when the person is doing. So we'll work. That's how we'll check. I'm not a healer. Can I do invocation by myself? Of course. See, invocation is what? It's avahan. It's a prayer where you are just remembering the divine energies. We are just inviting, or just, they're always there, no? But we are being more conscious. It is same like if I am just saying, hey, hello, there is no connection. The moment I say a name, Anita, Lata, Devdat, Preeti, the ears are like on. So it is same. That invocation is same, that you just pray, but when you pray, you are more connected with that energy. Anyone can pray in any language. Again, should we buy only clear cords or rose cords? No. This pendulum, for just buy anything which you get connected with. Actually, we'll share the recordings, and I think this is covered in the initial part of the recording only. So you just go to the recording again. When we donate, do we need to make an intention? Isn't that what okay, we'll discuss all these in some another forum. Tarot cards, we are not, this is a pendulum dowsing session. There are no tarot cards in this session. Where do you buy the pendulum? Like I said, this was once I was walking on the street. I went to Goa. I was walking on the street, and this was the only one there, and it caught my attention. I went and I picked it. And there were some more stones here, they fell down also. And then I checked, the moment the person was asking for money, I knew it is not real. Because I work with crystals, I know. But then I got so much connected with it that it was like I wanted to buy it, so I buy it. And it works the best way, better than the real crystals. So yeah, you just buy it from wherever you can. Online forum is the best way. Can I fix the pendulum on a stand and use it instead of hand? It will not work. Why? Because it is not the pendulum that is answering. It is you who is answering. It's your connection. I want to write. Can I ask my mom to write for me? She'll have the same ideas. No, your energy has to be there so that those feelings and words come in. Recordings will be available whenever there will be a tarot class. We will share. It is not coming soon. Once this is done, my first inner calling is to do the healing with pendulum. So it's still far off. Does the size of the crystal matter? For the pendulum dowsing, it does not matter. For using pendulum for healing, it does matter. So for now, we are learning dowsing and not healing, so it does not matter. And for the healing, on the last day of the dowsing session, I will share the knowledge that you require to buy a particular kind or particular kinds of pendulum for healing. That we'll share in the last day of the 5-day series. Because once there is no understanding of working with the pendulum, when that connection is not there, that information is irrelevant. It's like I don't know ABCD and somebody's asking me, how can I write the poem? So we learn ABCD first, and we learn how to make words and sentences. And then after a few months, we'll make our own stories out of it. Okay. I think I've catered all the questions which are there. This session will be open for everyone, so there is no eligibility. Anyone can join, even a teenager kid can join. So it's open for everyone, like not 5-6 years old. So all those, but for the teenagers, I would say if a person is interested, the timing is 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So for the session, it will be 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and every day, one hour, 5 days. Okay. Let's give a quick closing. It is written 7:30. Oh my God. We'll correct it. We'll correct it. Indian time 7:30. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. It's going to be 9 a.m. in Indian time. Okay. So let's do a closing invocation. I think I've covered all the questions, right? Yeah. To the Universal Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my beloved spiritual teacher, Grandmaster Chokosui, to Lord Bodhisattva Mailing, to all the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, holy angels, spiritual helpers, to our guardian angels, the angel assigned to the Triangles Blessing team, to this Pendulum question and answer session, the angels and beings of Pendulum Dowsing, the beings of connectivity, technology, the beings of truth, discernment, wisdom. We're very grateful for your presence. We are very grateful for your contribution. We are very grateful for your guidance, for your insights. We're very grateful for everything. Thank you for motivating us so that we could be here today. Thank you for inspiring us so that we can explore another way of connecting with ourselves. We're very grateful for all your help. With deep gratitude, with deep respect, and lots of love, we thank you all in full faith. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Atma Namaste. And yeah, we'll see you in 5 days Pendulum series. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun. There's so much of excitement when we experiment. So thank you for all the smiles and the hearts. Thank you. Bye-bye.